High drama has hit the Ducati paddock again. After less than satisfactory results at the start of the season, a brutal and firm message has emerged from within the camp. Marc Marquez, the ambitious newcomer, and the Ducati ranks seem to be sending a strong signal to Francesco Bagnaia. No more excuses, no more room to play it safe. The pressure is not only coming from the rival teams, but now from the headquarters itself. Is this the start of a cold war at Ducati? Let's discuss it. In the world of MotoGP, momentum is everything. Just one weekend is enough to shift the balance of power between riders, shake the confidence of a manufacturer, and reshape the narrative of the championship. And as the 2025 season gets underway in Europe, all eyes are on one name who is once again dominating the stage, not with brute force, but with frightening precision: Marc Marquez. For Marquez, victory at the Qatar Grand Prix is not just his first podium of the season. He calls it the most important weekend of the 2025 season, and the reasons are clear. This is not just an ordinary victory, this is a loud statement. A psychological blow to his closest rival and two-time world champion, Francesco "Pecco" Bagnaia. While Pecco may have tried to downplay the 15-point gap as collateral damage from a poor qualifying session, the harsh reality was far deeper and more complex. Arriving at the Lusail circuit, the crowd's expectations were clear: this was Pecco's territory. A fast track with plenty of flowing corners that should suit his precise riding style and incredible cornering speed. Marquez. On paper, he was the underdog. His track record in Qatar was underwhelming, and he was still learning the characteristics of the factory Ducati bike. But Marquez dominated. Despite starting the race from first position, Pecco had to work hard on Sunday, overtaking and even passing Marquez. But it all came crashing down in the final laps. Pecco complained of severe vibrations in the rear tire, caused by excessive wear and tear during the chase and battle, especially in the grueling duel with Morbidelli. When you're behind, you have to push the rear tire out more. I was within 0.5s of Maverick, but there were 5 or 6 laps to go and the vibrations were really bad, explained Pecco. He eventually finished third, promoted to second after Vinales received a tire pressure penalty. But the real damage had already been done. Not just in the standings, but in public perception and within the team. While the other riders were fighting on the track, Marc Marquez was playing with the composure of a maestro. While Francesco Bagnaia was caught up in a position-hungry crowd, Marquez played the race like a composer conducting a great orchestra. Not just fast, but calculated. He watched, read, and waited. All with the utmost patience, like a chess player who doesn't want to open his pieces too soon. He let the chaos unfold behind him, slipstreaming, fierce duels, overtaking in the corners, while he stayed at the front, protecting his tires, keeping his rhythm, his composure. And when the moment came, he attacked with frightening precision. His fastest lap wasn't at the start, when the tires were fresh. Not even in the middle of the race, when the engine was at its peak. The fastest lap came on the 19th of 22 laps, a statement. Not just fast, but efficient, hitting its opponents when they were running out of steam. I deliberately slowed down in the beginning to keep the big group together. That was my strategy, said Marquez with a confident smile after the race. Meanwhile, Pecco, who had tried to be aggressive from the start, found himself in a tiring position battle. He was up front, but never really in the lead. When Marquez started to disappear in front, Pecco could not catch up. He eventually finished 4.3 seconds down, a gap that feels very large in the world of MotoGP. From a rider once doubted after years of injury, Marquez has become Ducati's secret weapon. Not only because of his speed, but also because of his maturity. He is no longer just an aggressive attacker, but also a strategist. A teacher on the battlefield, and Ducati seem to be enjoying the valuable lessons from Honda's best pupil, who has now changed uniforms. Francesco Bagnaia's weaknesses became more and more obvious, especially in the early stages of each race weekend. Friday and Saturday are now crucial points that are often vulnerable for the defending champion. In the current highly competitive MotoGP era, where every second in qualifying can determine the fate of the race, starting position is a very crucial factor. Unfortunately, Pecco was not able to adapt quickly. The sprint race, which should have been an opportunity to score points aggressively, actually made the problem worse. Pecco finished the weekend in 8th place, a result far from the high hopes and expectations Ducati had for their mainstay rider. Ducati team manager Davide Tardozzi could not hide his frustration. We still don't know what really happened. It feels like he lost confidence, especially when braking and entering corners, said Tardozzi in a worried tone. On Sunday morning, Pecco had the chance to try a new setting during the warm-up session. The bike finally felt more suitable and closer to what he needed. But it was all too late. The damage had already been done the day before. According to Tardozzi, Pecco is a perfectionist. He is always looking for a bike setup that really suits his riding style. However, this perfectionism is actually a big obstacle in the modern MotoGP situation, where quick adaptation and improvisation are often more important than technical perfection. After the Qatar race, the Ducati management sent a very clear and unmistakable signal: don't think about the problem, manage it. This sentence sounds simple, but there is an incredible pressure behind it. This is not just a note from a technical debrief or an ordinary evaluation. It is a warning, even an ultimatum. Davide Tardozzi, one of the most important figures behind Ducati, emphasized in a serious tone, Pecco has to think like a champion. Not looking for excuses, but solving problems on the track. Everything was in place: the fastest bike, complete data, and the best team. But the reality... Francesco Bagnaia is not only behind Marc Marquez, who has just joined the Gresini satellite team, but also behind Alex Marquez, who has been more consistent and aggressive on several occasions. Had Marc Marquez not crashed out of the lead at Qatar, his current 26-point lead could have increased to 56. Imagine, only 4 rounds have passed, but the title race could have been over before it even started. Francesco Bagnaia, the defending champion, is still mathematically within reach, but the direction of the wind is very clear. Even Pecco himself admitted that the series in Qatar was a great opportunity wasted. Starting from 11th position makes everything really complicated. In the future, I must not repeat mistakes like that, said Pecco with a disappointed tone. The problem is that this year's MotoGP calendar offers no tracks that can be considered safe for Bagnaia. If Marquez, who has always been known to struggle at Losail, can take a dominant victory there, what guarantees that the following circuits will be profitable for Pecco? Marquez himself said that they had found a great solution in terms of handling in right-handers, which has always been his weakness. It gives me a sigh of relief because the next tracks have a lot of right-handers, he said with a slight smile that hinted at danger. It wasn't just a technical statement. It was a warning. Marquez has now closed all the gaps, technically, strategically, and mentally. He has overcome his weaknesses. He is starting to adapt to the characteristics of the Ducati bike and, most importantly, he is now in full control of the championship narrative. And when Marquez is in that position, history has shown time and time again that very few can stop him. Pecco Bagnaia is still a world champion, a rider with rare talent and top-class technique. He has shown his genius in many key moments. But in 2025, brilliance alone will not be enough. Not when the rival in the garage is Marquez, a legend reborn in the bright red of Ducati. The warning is given. The expectations of Borgo Panigale are no longer hinted at, but spoken out loud. And one thing is certain: the calendar waits for no one. In racing, it's not the mistakes you make that define you, it's how you recover from them. And for Pecco, the next few weeks will be more than just a fight to defend his world title. It's a fight to keep his place at the heart of Ducati's biggest project. Can Pecco Bagnaia bounce back, or will his time as Ducati's main rider come to an end? Leave your thoughts below.